So codependency or being codependent is kind of like the invisible, I don't know, maybe like the unseen uh, issue. It's not big. It doesn't get a lot of attention like, drug addiction or some other things. It seems very harmless and very small. And codependent, C-O, and then the word dependent. You can look it up because I don't have a good definition for it anymore. I just know like that basically in a nutshell, it means that I will bend my will and my actions to do what I think you want to do, or that you think is important, or that you value, to the point that I don't know anymore what I value, what I like, what I think, what I would stand for, what I feel. Codependency is getting lost into somebody else. I guess you could get lost into something like a career or a hobby or a talent or skill, but that, anyway, I don't know what that's called. But codependency is being, because it's not like being dependent on somebody is bad, because being dependent on others is good. So I learned this word. So I had to learn what the word codependency was. I was codependent, but I didn't know the word. And then there's a word called interdependent. I-N-T-E-R in the word dependent, interdependent. And that is what we're going for. Interdependent is being able to like be arm in arm with people, and you are an individual, and your strengths and gifts are separate from the other person's, but they add to the sum, so that as a group of people, of healthy people that are interdependent, they help each other, they support each other, they encourage each other, they can call out something that is hurtful, that's going to be hurting the other person, but they can do it in a way that is respectful, calm, kind, loving. They work together, but each one keeps their own special uniqueness and gifts and traits. And they think their own thoughts, and they speak their own minds, hopefully respectfully. And they interact, fully keeping their own personality and knowing what they believe and think, and being different from each other, but respecting each other. So I don't know that I've arrived there, to be honest. No, I have not arrived to a healthy interdependence. I'm pretty close. I think I'm pretty close, getting closer, much closer. But what codependency looked like for me, and it was just something naturally that came to me, like somebody might take to alcohol or drugs. Codependency came naturally to me. And why? Is because even from a young age, I was sensitive and aware of other people's feelings. And so that can be a gift. But when I overlook my own feelings because I don't see them as important as your feelings, then I get lost, and it's like I don't exist. So as a young person, I was aware of other people's feelings. I was a rule follower. I naturally just was a rule follower. I don't know if that's just my personality or I picked that up, but I wanted to follow the rules because that's what you do, and you're good. That means you're good, So, I mean, those were two strong things. So I always made, from a young age, and then just young age, and then it just kind of piled on. I would feel the temperature. I would sense the temperature in the room of the people or situation, wherever I was at, many different situations, okay? I would adjust myself like a chameleon, and I would fit in. Now, that's very common for people to do, especially growing up in the teenage years and whatever, is just to fit in. Nobody wants to stick out, right? Nobody. But yet, even when I was a teenager, I recognize, and today too, I recognize that there are people that just say what they think. They say it what's on their mind. It's on their mind, they just say it. They might just blurt it out. They don't care what you think about what they said. They don't care if it hurts your feelings or whatever. And I always wondered, how can they do that? Not like how could they do that, but kind of some of that. But wow, how do they do that? I can't do that. How do they, I thought it was brave, wow, they got some power. They just say what they want, and they say whatever, and they don't care what anybody thinks. But I can never do that. Oh my gosh, I can't say what I think, or what, so it might hurt someone's feelings, or I might step on someone's toes, or it might offend somebody. And that's true. And I don't want to go around stepping on people's toes, and I don't want to go around offending people, and I don't want to go around intentionally hurting people. But at the same time, there's a time and place to say what I think and what I believe. And if it's said in a loving way, if it's said respectfully, calmly, gently, with some thought, not just blurted out there, then doesn't that have value? That was not my mindset or on my radar whatsoever, navigating my way through the world. I thought my value, I felt my value depended on what you thought of me and my performance. My value was tied to how you saw me, and if you saw any value in me. I think that's probably a pretty good definition of codependency. My value is dependent upon if you value me. And that's too often, or more often, I thought that other people could not see value in me. So therefore, I would rather not be around people, because I don't need to be reminded that I don't have value. And that's the core of why I didn't want to go to recovery. I didn't want to be around people groups. I didn't want to be around women. I was sure that others would not find value in me. And in my core, I already felt that. And so I didn't need to be reminded of that. Not that anybody was projecting that towards me. It's just what I believed already. And yet there was a spark of something inside of me that rebelled against that thought and said, hell no. I matter. I don't know how much I matter. I don't really know how many people I matter. I knew I had to matter to a few, right? Like my family, but I didn't know that, if that makes sense. I was not willing to put myself in a situation with other people that might possibly shoot down my value when I already felt like it had been shot down enough. I felt like I couldn't risk enough energy or whatever to hear words or hear anything else that would be shooting down my value. There was something inside of me that wanted to fight for my value. And part of that fighting was hiding, isolating, even with people, I can be with people and I can put on my protective measures, And what I'm doing is I'm protecting my spark of value. And you know what? Like, I have a lot of value, and so do you. And that has been, I guess, the heart of my recovery, is realizing the truth of my value. And my value is independent and separate from anybody. No, nobody, what nobody thinks. I don't care if my grammar is wrong. My value and your value is intact. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks at all. I'm going to finish that thought. I'm going to go over to the next one.